Quantum computing. It sounds like science fiction, but for IonQ, it's becoming science fact. This small Maryland-based company has become one of the most talked about tech stocks of the decade. In 2025, IonQ represents both incredible promise, and massive risks. But with partnerships from Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, and its stock making waves again this year, investors are asking, is IonQ the next NVIDIA of quantum computing, or just another overhyped tech dream? Let's dive deep into the technology, business model, and investment outlook of IonQ, one of the boldest bets in the future of computing. What IonQ does, IonQ isn't just another chip company, it's a quantum computing pioneer. While traditional computers use bits, zeros and ones, IonQ's machines use qubits, which can exist in multiple states at once. That means they can process exponentially more data, solving problems that would take classical computers millions of years, in seconds. IonQ's technology is based on trapped ions, tiny charged atoms suspended and controlled by lasers. Unlike other approaches like superconducting qubits used by Google or IBM, IonQ's design aims for higher accuracy and scalability. As of 2025, IonQ operates some of the most powerful, commercially available quantum computers, accessible through Amazon Braket, Microsoft Azure Quantum, and Google Cloud. In other words, it's not selling hardware, it's selling quantum computing as a service. IonQ's financial picture, IonQ's business, is still in its early stages. Think of it like Amazon Web Services back in 2006. Revenue remains small, around 25 to 30 million in 2025, but it's growing fast. The company recently announced a record backlog of over 100 million in future contracts, signaling increasing demand from research institutions, corporations, and government agencies. But here's the catch: IonQ is not yet profitable. Like many early tech innovators, it burns cash to build infrastructure, hire scientists, and develop new quantum systems. The stock price has been volatile, surging above $20 in past hype cycles, then falling below $10 before stabilizing in mid-2025. Investors love IonQ's story, but the numbers show a long road ahead before consistent profitability. Why IonQ matters? Why should investors care about a company that barely makes money? Because quantum computing could redefine entire industries. Think about this. Quantum computing could revolutionize drug discovery by simulating molecules to design new medicines faster. Finance, by optimizing portfolios and risk calculations beyond classical algorithms. Cybersecurity, by cracking or protecting encryption. Energy, by improving battery chemistry and fusion research. IonQ is positioning itself as the Intel of the quantum era, a core provider of computing power for the world's next big technological leap. Governments and corporations alike are pouring billions into quantum R&D, and IonQ is one of the few pure-play public companies giving investors direct exposure to that future. The risks, but the road to quantum dominance is filled with uncertainty. The technology is still experimental, and practical large-scale applications are years away. Competitors like Rigetti, D-Wave, IBM, and Google are all racing toward the same goal, and any major breakthrough could shift the balance overnight. IonQ's valuation remains speculative. Its market cap sits around $2 to $3 billion, driven more by future potential than current profits. Investors should treat IonQ as a high-risk, high-reward play, not a stable income stock. Investment outlook. So, should you invest in IonQ in 2025? If you believe in quantum computing as the next great technological revolution, IonQ offers one of the purest bets on that vision. But patience is key. This isn't a short-term momentum trade. It's a long-term moonshot. Analysts see IonQ as a potential 10-year growth story, with upside if the company continues scaling its systems, growing cloud partnerships, and converting backlog into recurring revenue. However, investors must also prepare for volatility, dilution, and uncertain timelines. IonQ may not be the NVIDIA of today, but it might just be the NVIDIA of the 2030s. Quantum computing could change everything, from science to finance, from healthcare to energy. And IonQ is sitting right at the center of that quantum leap. Whether you're an investor, a tech enthusiast, or just curious about the future of computing, IonQ's story is one worth watching. Subscribe for more in-depth looks at the companies shaping tomorrow's world today.